Greetings, Willow here tonight. I just wanted to have a chat with you. I wanted to share with you some things that happened to me yesterday. I felt yesterday was a very spiritually eye opening day for me. As some of you may know, I do tarot readings professionally here in New Orleans in Jackson Square. And last night the energies were very strange to start out. There were a lot of rude people, and it was very chaotic energy in the beginning. But once the sun went down around 8 o'clock, then it was like all of the spiritually enlightened starseed started to come and sit with me for readings. And I did a lot of readings last night for those people who really are going through their awakening. And it was beautiful, and I just wanted to share it with you. So I had one person sit down with me, and they started talking. We had a long reading with that one, and they were curious because they knew they needed to move. They had recently already let go of their home. They had saved their money. They were thinking about moving. They didn't know where. They just knew they were supposed to move. And as we started to talk, I realized it's because of the shift. And so I explained that, and I want to explain it to you. I myself have been having this same feeling, and I don't think it's a feeling of restlessness. As some people say, well, the north wind blows, and so it must be time to move along. I don't even think it's that. I really feel like the divine source is trying to place us where we need to be in this near future, maybe over the next year. I felt that it was very interesting because it wasn't just one client. I had like 4 or 5 last night, and they were all telling me how they wanted to move. They don't know why they want to move, but each one of them were very spiritually minded, very open-minded. Some were just starting their path, and others had been on their path for a while. But they all had this urge to relocate. And some knew kind of where they wanted to go, at least some of the demographics. Others had no idea. They just knew they weren't supposed to settle down again where they were, but that they were supposed to move somewhere else. And some talked about some very spiritual locations like Asheville, North Carolina, and Sedona, Arizona, and just different places that have a lot of power, a lot of vortexes, a lot of energy centers there, ley lines, different things that would draw us. And I found that very fascinating. So I don't know if maybe some of you are having that too. It's not weird. It's not odd. A lot of us are having it. And I just wanted to let you know that. So if you've been feeling like something's just not right, I know this is where I've been living for a long time, but I'm just not sure if this is where I need to be now. It might be that you're feeling that shift of energy. It might be time for a spiritual journey. I took my first spiritual journey in 1996, and I left my home in Indiana, and I moved all the way to Tucson, Arizona. Now, I did this not just on a whim, but I had first had a reading by a friend, and it was an angel reading. She told me my angels were telling me that I needed to move to Tucson, and I had never been to Tucson, and I'm like, Arizona? Okay. And I was very interested at that time in shamanism and native traditions, and I thought, well, maybe that's why I'm being told to go there, for the native people of that area. So I still doubted. I'm like, that's a big move. That's like 3,000 plus miles, and I want to make sure that if I'm going to do this, that I'm doing it for the right reasons, and that I'm really supposed to do this. So I meditated on it. I thought about it for a couple of months. I wasn't just ready to up and go and leave my home that I'd been there for all my life. But one day I sat on my steps outside of my home and waiting for my ride for work. And it had been raining and it had stopped raining. It was still very cloudy. And all of a sudden, a beam of sunshine came right through the clouds, and it was right there in front of my apartment building. It sat right there in the middle of the street. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, I was just asking. I just said, Creator, am I supposed to really move to Tucson? And about that moment, a red-tailed hawk swooped down into that sunlight. I'd never seen a red-tailed hawk in town before. And I was like, okay, I'm moving. Because that was my sign. And I saw it and I paid attention. And some of us are seeing our signs, but we're not paying attention. We're doubting it. We're like, well, that was just, coincidence. Let me tell you, there's no such thing as coincidence. Things are there for us to see. They are there to let us know things. They are messages. They're messages from the divine or our spirit guides, our guardian angels, whatever you want to call them. But there are a lot of people, and I just realized it yesterday, how many starseeds there truly are. Some visit New Orleans. Some may be living where you are. But we are the ones who are supposed to help others awaken. We are those who are on our spiritual path. We've already started to take the steps. We've started to learn. We've started to expand our minds and our consciousness. We are the healers. We are the light workers. We are the ones that are waking up. And we know that the planet needs our help. And we know that humanity needs our help. And the divine source has been pointing us in this direction to wake up and help others. And I wanted to share this with you because it was so exciting, and it was such a blessing to speak with each one of those people last night. They were crying, they were so excited because they finally understood that they weren't the only one. Some had bought crystals and stones and showed me what they had. And each one of them, those stones, were regarding their spirituality, their opening of their chakras. And we talked about the colors and we talked about these things. And they were all drawn to each one of those. And it was really beautiful to see these, especially the young people, waking up. The crystal children, the indigo children. It was amazing. I even read for a very young boy last night, and he was 11, and it was wonderful to talk with him. It was his very first reading. And I saw the spark in his eyes. He'd asked for a reading. He wanted to know what his guides wanted him to know. I'm like, you're 11. This is amazing. But that's the kind of night I was having. The energies were so great. And I just wanted to share it with all of you. So if you're feeling the shift, if you are feeling like it's time to move, but you don't even know where, it's time to meditate on it. It's time to start watching the signs that you're being given. First, you're being given that sense of moving. You need to relocate. And then you've got to ask, well, where am I supposed to go? Now, I was told originally I had to move to Tucson at that point in 1996. It's not always that clear. Sometimes you may just keep seeing an ad for one place over and over and over again. Or you may be shown maybe the ocean over and over and over again in dreams. But pay attention. Your guides and the divine source are telling you something. And maybe it is time for us to move. Maybe it's only time for us to move around the block or from one town to the next. And sometimes maybe we have to move across the country or maybe across the world. But we are all following our journey, our path. Now, if you're not feeling like you need to move, then maybe you're already positioned right exactly where you're supposed to be. And that's fine too. But just know that you are here. And if you found this video, then you are here to help wake up everyone else, because you're already being awakened. This is your enlightenment. This is time to awaken your consciousness. This is time to help heal the planet and the universe. And the Divine Source sends her love and light to heal the universe. And we must share that. So if you need a personal session with me, I'm always available for those as well. And you'll see my website in the description below this video. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and those links are below as well. Tonight is also my Reiki and Divine Source healing night, so I'm going to be sending out distance healing. I'm not going to start until probably a little later tonight, maybe 10 or 11 Central Standard Time. So you still have time to send me your name. I'm going to upload this video very quickly so that you can watch it, and hopefully you'll see it in time. But I'm always doing this every Sunday night, so you're always going to be able to get healing. And if you need healing in the middle of the week, let me know, especially if it's an emergency. I'm very happy to send healing at any time you need it. This comes from the Divine Source. This comes from the universe. And it is my gift to give to you. So just remember, you are a light worker. You are Starseed. You are on your journey, and you are going in the right direction. And I'll talk to you soon. And until then, be blessed.